Cloud Revit model can be edited by several collaborators concurrently. So everyone on your project team could be adding elements, deleting elements, and changing elements at the same time. But there's two special rules to keep in mind as we do work together on a single model. Elements can only be edited by a single user at any time. So as soon as you touch an element and start making changes to it, it's unavailable to anyone else. So as soon as you touch it and it's checked out to you, you'll have exclusive access to it until you synchronize or relinquish it. And that's the important thing to keep in mind. As you continue to work, you need to continue to synchronize and relinquishing elements so that the element is released and other people can keep on working on those elements in your model. To get started with editing a Cloud Revit model, you'll open it up. We'll do that by opening the Cloud Revit model from the BIM 360 Documents tool. We'll do that by opening the File Open tool. So go to File, then Open, and then choose Project. Then we can navigate to the BIM 360 Documents project and folder. So start by choosing BIM 360 from the list of the stored locations that appears on the left side of the Open dialog, and then navigate down to the desired folder where that Cloud Revit model is stored. You'll probably start with the Stanford University account, then move into the CEE 220A Fall 2018 project. Then moving on down through the file tree, go down into project files, and you can choose whether it's in personal projects and your own personal folder, or whether it's under team projects and a team folder. But you just need to navigate on down to that location. Then you can choose the Cloud Revit model and click Open. Then you'll need to wait just a few moments as the model downloads to your computer. It'll typically just download the file first, okay, and then load it in and kind of re-render it on your local machine. Now you're ready to start editing the Cloud Revit model, and this works pretty much the way you're used to editing in your standalone environment. You can make those changes to the Cloud Revit model by adding things, deleting elements, changing elements. As you select any individual elements in the model, a symbol will appear that will indicate whether the element is editable. And the way most elements will start out is they won't be editable until you actually start making some changes. As soon as you start making those changes, it will be editable to you, and it'll be no longer in the shared pool, it'll be checked out to you. As you're working along, you can actually see if other people have checked out an element. If an element has already been checked out by another collaborator and you try to make a change to it, so for example, if you choose a wall and you're trying to make a change, but it's already checked out by someone else, you're going to receive a little warning. It's going to say that you can't edit the element until the other user resaves the element to the central and relinquishes it, and you reload it. Okay, at that point, you can either place a request within Revit asking the collaborator to synchronize and relinquish the element. Okay, that way they'll know through the Revit interface that someone else is waiting for it, and you'll be notified when they've relinquished it, and you can reload it into your interface so you can make the changes. Or you might think about using another communication channel to request the element. You know, whether you need to phone them or message them or just holler at them because they're somewhere across the computer cluster. Just let them know that you need the element. And the best way to do that, just have them sort of synchronize their changes to the cloud model so that you can reload the latest and then have access to it. Okay, as you work, you should remember that you need to synchronize often. Also, when you do that, what you're going to be doing is checking in. That basically updates the Cloud Revit model and relinquishes any elements that you've changed. So that's your way of checking things back in and making them available again. Okay, as you synchronize, the other thing that happens is you reload the latest changes made from the other collaborators. So you'll pull their changes down and you'll be able to see them in your local copy of the model. So typically you're going to go through and just say synchronize now. That appears under the collaborate tab in the synchronize section. You can choose synchronize with central, and then under that synchronize now. So generally I'll just say synchronize now, and what happens then is it saves your local copy before it uploads it to the cloud. It'll reload the latest changes to your machine, then it'll save your changes to the central. And then finally, it'll save that updated version to your local copy so that you have a local version that has all the latest changes in it. So generally, you'll be synchronizing now, and that will take care of what you need. That'll not only kind of post your changes, but also reload the latest. Okay, but you should also know that you can also just reload the latest. And when that's useful is when you want to actually pull down changes that someone else has made, one of your collaborators on your team has made, but you're not quite ready to post your changes. So if you just need to see the things that other people have done to the model, but again, you're not quite ready to release yours to the world. Okay, so reloading the latest basically reloads things that your collaborators have done, but it doesn't check in your things, the things that you've been working on still say checked out to you. Okay, so then you can wait as your local copy is updated with changes from the Cloud Revit model. Okay, that's the basic workflow for making changes in a Cloud Revit model. So again, just open the model, start making your changes. If you run into any difficulties with people already having elements checked out, just letting them know that you're waiting for those changes to be checked back in, and just making sure that you're always synchronizing your changes when you're done. A really good thing to do at the end of your work session or whenever you're just really leaving your workstation for a while is you'll probably want to be able to choose the Relinquish All Mine tool so that everything that you currently have checked out, whether you know about it or just might inadvertently have it checked out because you've been kind of touching different things in the model. Relinquishing things is just a nice courteous thing to do so that you're not tying things up in the model by accident.